Hi, this is Ushio, and welcome back to Roman's Christmas. It is Christmas Day. It is the 25th of December in the year 1285. We have had one murder and one suicide. We're doing okay, we're doing alright. Our mystery is underway, so hopefully everything's going to be chill now, but I do not suspect it's going to go that way, because this is chapter 2 of, I think, a 5-chapter game, so here we go. I always seem to oversleep on snowy days. The thin grey light coming from the window, half smothered by snow, is barely enough to wake me up. I climbed out of bed, still feeling dizzy. The snow hasn't stopped yet. The tavern was quiet. The sound of chatting and clattering mugs are all absent. The doors in the corridor are shut, even Kane's and Sean's. These are the people who died. It's almost enough to make me wonder if last night actually happened. Maybe it was just a nightmare. I walked down the stairs. The lodgers sat in the hall drinking. Silence reigned. Peter, Ionis and Elegant were sharing a table. Peter was practically trying to drown himself with cider. Ionis took him by the wrist and set the cup down. Benefits of having a huge friend, I guess. Elegant sat by and watched quietly, occasionally taking a sip from her drink. Vincel, Soler and Lunik sat at the counter. The Marquis and Marquis's clothes was even messier than when they'd walked into the tavern yesterday. Vincel was busy, nervously fiddling with his bow tie and coat. Thrivy, Anzox and Heron were seated around the fireplace, staring at their mugs without raising their heads. If Thrivy had brought a plague doctor mask, I'm sure he would have been wearing it. Sarzon was sitting by the stove in the kitchen. The fire wasn't lit. I counted them one by one. There was no sign of Kane and Sean. Oh, you're awake. What happened? I walked to the table by the fireplace. You know what happened, last night. Oh, right. Anzox came up and whispered in my ear. Peter is taking things really badly. Probably lucky Ionis is by his side. Maybe you should talk to him? Okay, of course. Without Sean, the Marquis and Marquise are also in a bit of a mess. Looks like they're not used to getting themselves dressed. Why are you telling me this? Sarzon lifted the curtain and came into the hall. Good morning, everyone. I hope the incident last night didn't interrupt your rest here. It's a bit late for that. As the proprietor of White Star Tavern and Kane's friend, I'm sorry for what happened here last night. But I can assure you that you have no need to worry about your safety here at the White Star. All of the locks are crafted by professional blacksmiths, and I personally guarantee that you are safe and solid. And I can assure Detective Roman and I will ensure your safety until the blizzard outside is over. Just decided to volunteer me like that. By the way, Merry Christmas? Peter suddenly shook off Ionis's hand and stood up. 2 people died, and you're telling us Merry fucking Christmas? Sarzon froze. As far as I could recall, he always seemed to deal with all kinds of stuff in a very flexible and quick-witted way that didn't match his appearance. But this time, well... And Kane, he was a regular. How could you pretend he's a stranger for fuck's sake? Are you that fucking cold-hearted? Admittedly, I couldn't understand Sarzon's reaction. Sometimes trying to separate yourself from events and staying professional is the only good option. Ionis grabbed Peter by the shoulder and forced him back into his chair before Sarzon could do anything in response. Pete, for God's sake, sit down and shut up. Yeah, totally. He speaks, finally. At any rate, I don't know how long until the snow stops. Let's all just try to stay calm. Sarzon, I'm sorry. I was just scared. The fact that he sounded like Sean didn't sit well with me. What if there's another one? It won't be one, I promise. The blue dragon gently patted Peter's shoulder, then cleared his throat and straightened himself. For the time being, why don't we all just stay here in the lobby and get to know each other? That way we can keep track of everyone here. And if everyone wants to leave the hall, 1 person at a time please. No groups, no pairing off. And how does that sound? We looked at each other and nodded. I hope Sarzon has something prepared to pass the time, considering everyone is stuck downstairs for today. Maybe I can chat with them one by one. I could also go upstairs and get my book to read. Okay, let's talk to Sarzon. Let me find a place to sit down and talk with some people first. Where should I sit? Let's sit at the counter. Oh, these guys are here. Your performance yesterday was splendid indeed, Mr. Roman. Oh, thanks for the compliment. Mon Dieu, I should be the one to say that. Were it not for you, Monsieur Detective, that fiendish goat would have succeeded in framing me. May that goat rot in the pit with the traitors and murderers. Nevertheless, Shawners. No, do not speak that name before me again. Well, as you wish, my dear. Sola turned away from Lunik, her ears flat and tail lashing in anger. You needn't be so angry, Marquis Harlock. Once the snow stops, I'm sure we have more than enough time to make it to His Majesty's Christmas feast. It's already too late. It's Christmas today. I'm sure to miss the feast if the snow doesn't stop by noon. And there's also the matter of my carriage. Oh la malchance, el malheur. I'm sure that this is merely a temporary setback for you, Marquis. Lunik rolled his eyes and sighed heavily. Do not try to flatter me, merchant. Okay, so let's talk to Vincel. We don't really know this guy. I sat beside Vincel. What brings you to me, my good detective? Okay, so why did you come to Rimph? I assume it's quite a long trip from your home to Rimph, right? Certainly. I haven't travelled this far from Addit Town in years. Is it your second time here? Not really. Vincel paused a bit and continued fiddling with his gloves. It's my first time visiting the capital. I guess telling you to have a pleasant trip would be in poor taste. Oh no, not at all. His gloves was already on his hands properly, but he kept fiddling with the edges. Okay, he's got a bit of a nervous thing? Okay, so what did you request? Didn't you say the night before you might hire me for a case? Indeed. Anything you want to share about that, so I can prepare? It's just investigating a trivial matter. Easy as it sounds, no need to over-prepare. Okay, mysterious. About the spice business. The spice business must be making money lately, given the price of pepper in the city just tripled. The same goes for cinnamon and cloves. Even the price of basil has gone up a lot. I know it's the holidays, but surely it can't be that expensive. It's because spice shipments haven't arrived in the port yet. Merchants are still consuming their inventories while waiting for that cargo. Naturally, the price goes up as the supplies dwindle. Okay, what about the gloves? Those gloves of yours look very stylish. Vincel stretched his bow tie and put it together. Great minds think alike. I always prefer thick gloves, especially those thick enough to retain their shape while empty. Oh, of course. Sure. Interesting. I raised my mug. He did too. To Christmas. To snow. Our mugs clicked, and I could smell the aroma of pale ale mixed with fresh basil in his cup as he drank sloshed. Okay, let's talk to Lunik. I sat down beside Lunik. He didn't seem to notice me. Such terrible weather. Okay, let's talk about the storm. When will this snow even stop? I think it could still go for some time. Says Morvay. I knew we should have left earlier. If only I knew about this awful snow, I'll be the laughingstock if I miss the King's Christmas banquet. Come to think of it, how are my carriage horses? Are they seen to? I don't know. About the banquet. Have you been to the King's banquet before, my lord? I'm curious about what they serve. Oh, an excellent topic. Lunik cleared his throat, then narrated with enthusiasm while drinking his mulled wine. Domestic animals, birds, fresh fish and wild game, transported from across the kingdom to the kitchen, and then from the kitchen to the table for our enjoyment. You could find whole roasted cattle, wild boar, dozens of quails and lampreys, fatty venison and fruit roasted goshawks, stewed dolphins and more exotic dishes. A peacock was roasted after being skinned and then stuffed back into its skin, its plumage fully intact. Wolves didn't appear on the menu due to the fierce opposition of the Home Secretary. The flavour of a whole shark was so peculiar that no one touched it until the end of the banquet. Okay, so what about dragon? Well, there was one. Lunik pointed to Anzox by the fire. Wow. Okay, by the way, if there are other disputed cases in the future, feel free to send for me. Absolutely, should I encounter such a case again. Both your performance last night and last time impressed me. Especially when you dared the criminal to strike at you with the armour under your coat. Your bravery is remarkable as a detective. Okay. Let's talk about the tavern. Are you getting used to your room? Pardon? Well, the room, though unfashionable, is clean and the bed was comfortable. But the most serious problem is that my servant was involved in that awful event. Now I have nobody to serve me. If that's his only takeaway from this, then I don't really know what to say. Okay, let's talk to... I didn't utter a word, and he didn't seem to notice me at all. Let's sit somewhere else. Talk to Sola. Sola was sitting next to Lunik, so I felt uneasy about talking to her. She's kind of the only person we've not really spoken to. It would be better if Sola's alone. So we still can't talk to her. Okay, let's go somewhere else. Let's go to the hearth. I dragged the chair to the fireplace. Hey, these guys look like they're kicking off. The rabbit is really quite nosy. He and Kane have known each other for years. Methinks it's not unreasonable for him to be in such a state. Forgive me for saying this, but I'm not particularly comfortable being near him. Why does it matter? Once the snow subsides tomorrow, we'll part ways and be strangers again. Being God's children, we ought to treat each other with kindness. And children should know better than to shout unless they want to be scolded. Wow, he's really upset that Peter got upset. As Anzox rose to get another drink, Heron touched Anzox's elbow with his empty mug. Would you mind filling mine as well, my dear boy? Didn't take you for a drinker, father. Okay, Anzox balanced 2 mugs in one hand and his loot in the other as he headed toward the counter. Seriously, if performing doesn't work out, he'd do very well as a waiter. Anzox filled the mugs and returned. Here you go, father. God bless you, my child. The Red Dragon shrugged and sat down. Okay, so let's talk to Anzox. I moved next to this guy. What do you want? Let's talk about Kane. It's been a while since I last saw Kane. I didn't expect something like this would... Yeah. Anzox sighed softly and fell silent. A good drinking buddy, even though he never requested a song from me. If he did, would it be just like that Bible verse? Which one? Give not that which is holy to the dogs, nor cast you your pearls before swine. But still, he's much better than you as a drinker. Okay, let's talk about Peter. Peter's outburst sort of shocked me. That's what small animals do. Go into hysterics. They tend to attach great importance to kinship and friendship. Family and friends make it easier to survive in a harsh and unforgiving world. It's kind of sensible, really. I assume you also find relationships important? Wolves and their packs and all that? I mean... Are we a lone wolf? We'll go with it, yeah, sure. Socialising with people is one of the required skills of a good detective. So let's talk about the snow. Will the snowstorm stop tomorrow? What do I look like, a village witch? How do I know? But I thought you just said... That was me trying to raise spirits. Would you rather I say something like, oh no, the snow's going to keep falling and we're all going to be trapped here until the spring thaw? If I said something like that, I'd have my tongue cut out. So it's better to say something nice. Fine. About last night. Thanks, by the way. For what? For the clue you found at the scene last night. You're more than welcome. I'll be the first to arrive to help you to investigate next time. If you were the first to arrive at the scene, you'd either be the victim or the murderer. Sure. Okay. Did you ever touch my nightstand? Yes, someone went through our stuff in our room. By the way, can I ask you something? Certainly. Did you happen to touch my nightstand? What? Of course not. I'm not the kind of guy I was when we first met. Never mind then. Okay. Nothing. It's warmer sitting by your side of the fire. Naturally. Let's talk to Heron. I looked at Heron. So let's talk about last night. It's pretty rough for a Christmas Eve, right? Indeed. It's all a part of God's ineffable plan. What? If only we listened to God's words, none of these despicable acts would have ever happened. Here we go again. Surrounded by the goodness and kindness of God, you will become a noble person naturally. People have done far more despicable things for what others would call noble purposes. Okay, snow. The snow keeps falling down. It's also part of the ineffable plan. Unlike the flood that washes all sins away, no matter how heavy the snow is, it can only cover sin. I'm getting more and more confused now. So what? All the sins of Rimph are buried deep down under the heavy snow, but the snow eventually melts. No matter how deep the sins are buried, they shall be revealed by the light of the sun. Okay. Thanks for chanting, I suppose. Thank you for giving Kane and Sean their last rites yesterday. Letting the deceased embark on the journey to heaven with dignity is what I ought to do. There is no need to thank me. Is that so? By the way, can I ask? What's up? Oh, did Sean commit suicide? I mean, are we supposed to have told him that he hung himself, even though he blatantly stabbed himself? Let's tell the truth. Yeah, he did. I wondered about that. Why else would he have had a dagger with him? We were just afraid that you would refuse because he committed suicide. After all, you don't seem the sort to do something as despicable as a lie to a friar without a noble cause. Okay, leave it at that then. Before Harry could continue, I moved seats. Let's talk to Thrivy. I sat down beside this guy. Can I help you? Thanks for the autopsy. This guy's like a doctor, so... I just wanted to thank you. For the autopsy, there's really no need. I believe any qualified doctor would do the same if it meant keeping others safe and sane. Although my judgment might not be as good as a professional coroner's, I do try my best. If there's anything unsatisfactory with my work, please do tell me, Mr. Detective. I will try my best to correct it. I appreciate your enthusiasm, Dr. Thrivy, but let's hope we don't need for such cooperation in the near future. Oh, pardon my enthusiasm then. Okay, let's talk about being a doctor. Is it difficult? Why are you asking this all of a sudden? Why do I think that being a doctor's hard work? Your chest's really heavy. That medicine chest of yours is rather heavy. Must be tough to travel with that. Sort of. The Karnak district has a dysentery outbreak recently. I went through 3 bottles of castor oil with my patients. Castor oil? I thought last year it was clove oil that worked on dysentery. Medical science, such as it is constantly improving. If you happen to fall ill sometime, I'll be glad to have you as my patient. Okay. About the book last night. I'm just curious, what exactly is that weird looking book you had last night? The cover had a bunch of symbols that were completely incomprehensible to me. Unsurprising, the book is written with a cipher to prevent others from accessing its knowledge. Well, maybe I shouldn't have asked. It's quite alright. Many ask that kind of question. I'm used to it. Okay. Did you search through my stuff? Can I ask you? Oh, please do. Have you seen anyone rummaging through my nightstand? No. I hope you're not suspecting me. It's not good to suspect a colleague, even if the partnership was temporary. Okay, I guess we'll leave it there. Well then, a toast to your health. Thrivy raised his mug and shook it in the air and took a sip. Okay, let's go somewhere else. Over to the round table. These guys. Peter was face down on the table, his mug close to hand. His back occasionally twitched like he was sobbing. Ionis was gently patting him on the back. At least, gently by his standards, he's kicking the shit out of him. Elegant sat by them, with a cup full in her hand. I wonder if it's the same cup from yesterday. There, it's okay. It's not okay. If Kane was here, he wouldn't want to see you cry. Don't try to tell me what Kane would want. Okay, so let's talk to Peter. He's obviously struggling with this. I'll stroke Peter's head gently. What? Okay, about Kane. What kind of person was he like? Then Peter lowered his head. Okay, about the snowstorm? Okay, hopefully the snow's gonna finish soon. Peter pushed my hand aside and laid on the table. Okay. Peter? What? I know Kane's incident is kind of a shock for you. To be honest, I'm just as shocked and confused. Uh-huh. But since we don't know how long it's gonna be till the snow stops, you should probably try to calm down and keep your head for the time being. I mean, I'll try. Okay. I better not bother him too much. Let's talk to Ionis. I looked at Ionis, who was patting Peter's back. Let's talk. I still can't believe what happened to Kane. Yeah. I'm still expecting him to come downstairs and chat with me over a cup of ale. Like about that damn seasickness cure he came up with a while back that never worked. Or some amulets he's been collecting for some weird shop or something. Well, seasickness. Okay, about Peter. I'm glad you're keeping Peter calm. I don't know how long he'd have kept going. Rabbits are like that. It's not impossible to scare one to death. Just be careful with him. What? I know you're trying to help him, but maybe you should try to be a little bit more delicate with him. I'm not going to break his back, if that's what you mean. No, not that. Okay, nightstand. Ionis, did you poke around inside my nightstand? What are you talking? Do I look like a petty thief to you? I mean, never mind. Okay, leave it there. Yeah, just pat him more lightly, please. Don't hurt him. You mean like this? Bam. Yeah, you can figure it out. So let's talk to Elegant. When I looked at Elegant, she made eye contact and nodded. What was it you wanted to say before the incident last night? We didn't get the chance to talk. Oh, I forgot. So, as it was interrupted, maybe it was something that should not be uttered at all. My curiosity will be the death of me. You're not a cat. Okay. About the notebook. I grow tired of explaining the same thing repeatedly. You haven't explained a thing, though. Okay. I'm still curious. Why are you in Rimph? I thought you'd already figured it out. Is it a good time to tell me, then? I came here for an investigation. Why else would I be here? Perhaps the carrots do. Well, at least you didn't cover it either way. What about... did you go through my stuff? By the way, have you ever touched my nightstand? What do you think? You have. And do you think it's true? Okay. I broke eye contact with her. Let's sit somewhere else. So, can we go somewhere? Let's go into the kitchen. Anything you want right now? Nothing in particular, I'm just wandering about. Then stay in the hall while I lock up the cellar. Why? I'm locking it up in case someone decides to go for the hard liquor to drown their sorrows. There's enough ale at the counter right now. Just keep an eye on everyone while I'm away. Sarzon went down to the cellar. Okay. I guess we just gotta sit around in here. Sarzon came out of the cellar, glanced at the counter, and scratched his head in confusion. That's weird. What's weird? I remember leaving my keychain on the counter, and now I can't find it. Maybe put it somewhere? Maybe. I'll keep looking. Okay, I'm gonna go upstairs now. Wait. Sarzon pointed at the stairs. I turned around and saw Thrivy on the stair. Oh, I'm just gonna go grab a book and come down. I won't take too long. He scrambled up the stairs 2 steps at a time. Honestly, it surprised me given his size. It's probably best to wait. Okay, let's talk. I hope nothing else happens like last night. I don't think there'll be as much trouble. Only one person can be alone at a time, and I doubt anyone's in the mood to die now. That's all well and good, but it's better for everyone if you just stop there. Okay. Don't take what Peter said too seriously. Of course, I work in a tavern. I've been called worse things than that. I was going to try and comfort you, but I guess you don't need it. I wouldn't object to a little comfort. Oh, I'm just trying to satisfy your wish to comfort others. After all, it's my job to please my customers. Not in that way, though. Okay, let's talk about what we're doing today. So, what are we going to do? Well, I could set up the dartboard and see if anyone wants to play. Sure, give emotionally compromised people sharp objects, yeah. I'll be watching, nothing's gonna happen. I could think of a few things that could. Would you stop that? Okay, what about these horses? Didn't they all break their legs or something? Hold on a sec, I just remembered something. Spit it out. Why aren't you feeding Marcus's horses? I told Ernest to bring the horses back last night, but he said they died, froze to death, so I had him drag them into the yard this morning. Why bother with that? Can't let good meat go to waste, right? I can't say I'm looking forward to a pleasant meal of horse meat. Okay. So, can we go anywhere else? Oh, Thrivy trotted down the stairs, book under his arm. Can you do me a favour, Mr. Detective? What's up? I'm having a great deal of trouble with the ladder upstairs. Could you, Oh, you want me to put it up into the attic? The white dragon looked aside and nodded. If you'd be so kind. I grabbed the rope and slowly lifted the ladder into the attic. The ladder's heavy, even for me. No wonder Thrivy had so much trouble with it. The ladder reached the attic. I tied the rope on the wooden handle on the corridor wall and went downstairs. Sarzon took the dartboard from under the counter. Since everyone seems a bit bored, I recommend a game of darts to pass the time. I'm only offering the dartboard and darts. Any bets you want to place is up to you. Yeah, let's do it. Ansel's bounced up from his seat with an eager grin. I guess the idea of possible loot or a sense of challenge had kindled some long-lost instincts from his ancient dragon ancestors. I'm not participating. I will watch first. I shall watch. It's tempting. Well, I'll watch as well. Fine by me. I'm going to check my luggage upstairs first, so I can leave immediately once the snow stops. Before anyone could interrupt, Vincel put his cup down and walked upstairs. Why was he so desperate to leave? I think I'll watch. Oh no you don't, you're playing. Ernest pinched Peter's ear and pulled him out of his seat. I suppose I can join and see what happens. Well, that makes 7 participants. Anzox, Thrivy, Vincel, Ernest, Elegant, Peter. Oh, and myself too. What about you? It's just a practice round, no bets. I mean, sure, let's do it. Of course I'm in, frankly speaking, I practiced for it. So, that makes 8 of us. What are we waiting for when everyone's here? Let's get started. I'm ready too. Sorry for the wait, everyone. Okay, we are back. It doesn't matter. You come at the right time. We are playing darts now. Sarzon lifted up the dartboard and hung it on the wall behind the counter. With its peeling black paint and riddled with hundreds of dart holes, the dartboard looked as old as the tavern. He took 3 darts from the groove behind the board and put them on the table. 3 darts only. Throw them in turns. I won't give you more in case you toss them around. Also, this should be obvious. Don't stick them in the table. Well, now that was just tempting fate. Ansels walked in front of the table first. Stand behind the brick. Okay, let's get these shots. Yeah, ready, fire. Not bad. 41 total. That last dart though hit 1. I expected you to be an expert seeing as you're so active. Next up. Why is it so high? Okay, you hitting low. Double 19, triple 3 and a 3. 50 points. Wow, bit of a fluke if you ask me. Congratulations, next up. Here comes Vincel. I've not played darts in a long time, so please forgive my humble showing. Vincel took the darts in his left hand and took aim. That's not bad. 520, triple 1, 28, okay. That will do. I'm ready. Oh, he's played before. Triple 5, half bullseye, 60 total. So. Here we go. Should I hold it like this? Almost. Just be careful and don't throw him at the wall, please. And especially don't throw it at the pictures or else. Or else? Oh god. Ah! 60 points. You got a triple 20. What sort of beginner's luck is this? Next. If I may. What was that last one about? 20, triple 20 and a miss. 80 in total. Oh, it seems luck favours me as well. That shot to the far right there. What is that about? Did she expose herself or not? My turn. Roman, can you track my score? Oh wow. 120 and a bullseye for 50. 71. As to be expected. It's your turn. Move your paw to throw the dart. Okay, how do we do this? No, like up here. Oh, do we drag it? At about... That's a 20. 60. Oh wow. Okay. No, wait. Now. 60. Oh, we've won already. Can we go for 180? No, we're not. 20. 140 points in total. You're the champion. You live up to the title of a great detective. I don't think darts has much to do with being a detective. But we did win. It's just the warm-up. Next one will be the real thing. But first, let me just find my keychain. That one? 3 pointed to the keychain on the counter. Oh, that's it. Where the hell did it go before? That is suspicious as shit. Peter pulled me aside. Roman, can you do me a favour? What's up? I just want to send a letter to Hedda. Could you help write it for me, please? Hedda, the little hare you've had your eye on? Yeah, that's her. Do you know if she can read? She can ask someone else to read it for her. Okay, we'll help. Okay then, just tell me what you want to say and I'll write it out. Oh, thanks so much. Suddenly, I recalled that we could only leave the lobby alone today. Could we do this another time? We're not supposed to leave the hall together? Oh, okay, I suppose it can wait. Okay, so I think that we should probably leave it there. We're going to play some real darts in the next episode. This is Usho signing off, and hopefully I will see you next time.